This conference will now be recorded.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Jen.
No problem. So I have COVID, but I'm like at the very tail end. Dan also has COVID. He is not at the very tail end. He is in bed right now. So I'm just going to say, hi, I'm Jennifer, and I want to see everyone. So I'm going to just go around the room and you could do your introduction. So I will go to my right and go to Frank.
Okay, well, I'm Frank Austin, and I'm here in Plainville, Kansas, out in the middle of nowhere. Uh, and I've had MS. I've been diagnosed with MS since 1997. Uh, I'm on no medication whatsoever for the MS. I've got plenty of other stuff, but no MS DMTs. Uh, and I'm just living life and loving it. What can I say?
Yay. All right. And Kim?
I'm Kim. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa, but tonight I'm from Rochester, Minnesota. Relapsing, remitting, diagnosed 2012, and currently on Ocrevus.
Hey. Now I will scoot down to you, Karen.
I'm Karen. Thank you for recognizing me. In Oakland, California, with non-relapsing progressive multiple sclerosis. There's nothing for old ladies like me.
And and I will now move over to John, my fellow gander.
Hello, I'm John. I live in Big Rapids, Michigan. I was diagnosed in 2016 with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. I'm on Zeposia, and today is the end of a very long day. But I do have some things I'd like a minute or two for during the meeting. Thank you very much.
Yes, and I'm sorry I didn't ask anyone if you have something to talk about, Frank, Kim, Karen. Okay. Frank said he might. Yes?
Oh, I said fine. I'm fine.
Okay, you're fine. Kim, do you want to talk about your anything tonight?
Sure, if we have time.
All right, Karen, how about you?
Yeah, if I
Yeah,
remember when it's my turn.
okay. Now I will scoot over to Sleepy Hannah. I caught you just yawning. You may not be
I,
sleepy.
oh no, I'm very sleepy. You're gonna hear me see me yawn a lot, and it's why I'm not gonna stay on for too long. But anyway, my name is Hannah, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I have relapsing remitting MS. I'm currently on Ocrevus. I was diagnosed in 2017, so it's been 5 years. Um, did I hit all the check boxes? I think I did.
I think so. Did you need any time to talk tonight?
Oh, yes, yeah. I just wanted to talk a little bit about depression and all the fun things that come with it. So we can
Okay.
save that for later.
Okay. And hi, Mike. Do you want to go ahead?
Hi, my name's Mike, and I'm in Denver, Colorado. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS in 2010, and I'm currently on Tecfidera, and I don't need any time tonight.
Okay. Thank you for saying that, and I appreciate everyone in the group. But I got the MS, so if I don't remember, just I'll remember. Mike doesn't need time, but anybody that needs time, I might forget. Sorry. So, hi, Andrea. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, Jen. Hello from the North Carolina Outer Banks. I have relapsing MS, diagnosed 2012. I'm on Bafirtan, I think is how you say it. I don't know. Um, I don't have anything tonight necessarily to talk about as far as MS is concerned, but if anybody knows how to get the stink of rotten food out of a freezer, uh, feel free to let me know. Thanks.
Yeah. And Ray, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm fine. I'm Victoria using Ray.
Victoria. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
I'm Victoria from San Jose, California. Was diagnosed in 1997, and I have relapsing remitting, and I'm not on any medication. And I don't think I need time, but maybe later. I don't know.
Okay, thanks, Victoria.
Thank you. Hi,
And
everybody.
and Louie, are you here, ready to talk?
I'm here.
Yay.
I oh yeah, okay. I always forget every single time what to say. Okay, I'm Louis. I'm on Ocrevus with relapse and remitting and diagnosed in November 2021. Yeah.
You're not driving, right?
No, I'm parked, but
Okay.
I will be driving, so I'm gonna turn off my camera and just be listening to you guys.
Stay
Okay.
alert.
Do you have anything you'd like to talk about tonight, Louie?
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna listen to y'all. Yeah.
Okay. Super. Okay. So, Frank, did you want to kick us off and talk about with what you wanted to talk about?
I didn't have anything.
Well, see, I got the MS. I forgot. Sorry.
I mean, I can come up with something to talk about.
Well, I know Kim wanted to talk. I do remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Let's have Hannah talk first because she might have to leave soon. So I'd like her to go first if possible.
Yeah. You're on
We
mute.
cannot hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear that now.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. I've always seemed to have headphone troubles. Anyway, okay, so I just wanted to talk about depression. I'm feeling a lot better now, as of like yesterday. But I have and I don't know if it's related to MS. I seem to be after the antibiotics and after having pneumonia, I seem to be going through like fluctuations in feeling different symptoms of all sorts. Um, Seems like most of those symptoms seem to be mental health symptoms, issues, with depression being the worst and ADHD coming in a very, very close second. Um, so I guess I mostly just wanted to vent on here. I don't know, but y'all are welcome to just, chime in, say whatever you want. But I'm very good at putting on like a happy face. I'm very good at it. And I'm very good at this whole invisible illness thing. Because you can, I can be in pain and I can have a ton on my mind, and sometimes people would never, most times people would never know it.
Hmm.
So, like, anyway, I've been pretty good today, though, just so you know. But I just wanted to like ask you guys if you've ever had this happen to you. I seem to have had like an episode, I guess an episode of depression. I don't know what else to call it, but it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, like it was very fast. Like
Hmm.
I woke this happened on Thursday, woke up already with extreme anxiety. I couldn't sleep that night because I had money issues on my mind because, anyway, that's a huge a lot going on with money issues. Yeah. So
Stupid money.
stupid money, I know. Um so anyway, couldn't sleep that night, extreme anxiety. so tired throughout the whole day. I just could barely keep it together. And then what was it? I took a nap, and that was like not a good thing because it seems like that nap usually naps go one way or another, okay? And this nap took me on a downhill spiral. So I was just any little thing could have tipped me. I think my boyfriend can't hear me. So
Yeah.
my boyfriend said one thing, and it wasn't even anything like I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't anything big. But I just I lost it. I broke down in the car. I had to pull over because that's how bad my little mental breakdown was. And we sat in the car. Well, I sat in the car crying for about an hour and a half. We were just there in the neighborhood. I was just crying. Nothing he could say, and I'm tearing up right now, you know. But nothing he could say could make me feel better. It just was this huge amount of hopelessness, and I couldn't dig myself out. I really just needed him to be there, and so I had my moments in the car. You know, I had my up and down moments where I feel better, but you know, I'd go spiraling into another crying fit. Um, so um, anyway, I've been
Hey,
better since then. Not completely since then, but I guess I just wanted to vent to you guys because
absolutely. Vent all you want, Hannah.
John, you're
I just
saying something, I can't hear you. I don't know if
can
it's me.
can I ask you a question, Hannah?
Can't hear anything.
Okay, that's weird.
Can you guys
Um,
hear me? Maybe
We
somebody else.
can hear
Oh, it's me. It's my own speakers.
and you
I
can
was
hear me
having
as well.
trouble hearing Hannah the last bit. Was it just me or other people too?
you.
She got quieter.
Just what you need when you're talking about something so sensitive. Like,
Did anyone else hear Hannah say that she was getting over something? Like
COVID,
she
I think, or
okay,
she said pneumonia.
Yeah.
okay. I have just a little bit of things that I just
Hear
found
me?
out today.
There she
Yes,
is.
can
Yeah,
you
we
hear us?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. What was the last thing you guys heard?
We heard
we
most of what you said. You just got
Yeah.
quiet there a little at the end of your story, your volume, but now your volume sounds better. So continue.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. What did I
So
Hannah,
say?
Hannah,
if
Um,
I could just say that a lot of times when I feel bad, like when I feel sick and feel bad physically that way, I I I fall into a depression. Like I'll know I'm sick. How do I know it? Because I can't stop crying.
yeah, yeah.
Hannah, you said that you had COVID or pneumonia. Which was it?
I I had both. So COVID turned into pneumonia.
Oh,
Yeah.
COVID pneumonia. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yes.
So
Um,
COVID turned into pneumonia, and I had to try 3 different antibiotics in order to get rid of it. So my gut system has been through a lot, and I understand that, the brain and the gut system, they go hand in hand with mental health. So I was just kind of like wondering if maybe that had a big hand in what's going on. It probably does.
something. So I before I was in here, I came from an outreach and education program, and the doctor had said um, if you go on antibiotics or are you know, she said disabled, which I was like, but if you get sick and you can't do the things that you normally can, depression comes right along with it. Like, boom, you get sick, you get depressed. When I had COVID, oh my God, I was just couldn't get out of bed, didn't care to, So I would say that some of that could be to blame on COVID
Yeah.
pneumonia
Yeah.
and
And
the
mhm.
antibiotics as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're absolutely right. It's and I mentioned money issues because money's been a huge, deal because I was out of work for so long.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I'm with you.
so, you know, and I won't go into too much, but one of my other jobs is cutting hours too, in addition to that. So it's a double whammy with me. So it's like, I don't know what to do, I feel like I'm gonna have to pick up more more work now. Um so yeah, anyway, I've been having a lot of ADH issues, maybe not ADH, ADD issues as well, where I just cannot organize my thoughts. I'm like a squirrel, right? I'm like a squirrel that sees 5 or 50 different treats and desserts and can't figure out which one that it wants to
Just
go to. Where? Yeah, exactly. I also have an issue with binge eating too. So I've been finding myself like just binging on any food I can find in the pantry and trying to stop. I'm really trying to stop that. But
gosh, it sounds like you have depression.
it sounds like it,
Yeah,
right?
like, do you have any interest in stuff?
Wonder.
No. Do you have trouble getting out of bed? Yeah. Things like that, So
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, before I had COVID, I was walking with my walker, no problem. And then COVID took me all the way
Mm,
further past a walker into a wheelchair.
yeah.
So just that was enough to, like, I'm still depressed. I went to my doctor on Friday with my list of demands, you know, and I'll talk about those later. But yeah, like, I'm redoing my entire mental health medicine, you know.
Yeah. I'm seeing I just started seeing a psychiatrist recently.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I had an appointment today, but she had to reschedule. So I wasn't able to see her today, but Thursday is when we rescheduled. So I'm gonna really talk to her about what's going on. Because personally, I prefer the non-medicated route because
Yeah.
I've I've grown up watching my dad. Anytime he
Mhm.
would switch mental health medications, it would trigger something in the household. So I have
Okay.
issues with the way he handled it, but I am open to it, myself now. Now that I'm older and I understand that these things can work for me, it's just been a very slow process to get me up to that point. So, like, I tried an herbal supplement called ashwagandha,
Mhm.
which works well in me, but I can't afford it right now because insurance isn't going to cover it.
Mhm.
So anyway, I literally only can afford to like live and eat. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah. So anyway, it's a lot going on, and yeah, it all. And Rick mentioned in the comments that ADD goes hand in hand with depression. I can absolutely see that. Totally
Well, when
see
you,
it.
when you say ADD, what do you mean? Only because
Hmm.
I don't think I was ever ADD. I can multitask a lot, but now with MS, I'm just like all over the map. I'm
Hmm.
embarrassed sometimes to talk to people because I'm just like all over the map. So I don't like, just this and I'm tangential and I'm this. So
Hmm.
when you say ADD, like what do you what are you referring to?
You described it very well, all over the map. Like my brain cannot multitask. I have to focus on one thing. However, doing the focusing is so difficult because I'll hear a noise back there and my brain is suddenly hyper focused on the noise, and I got to go see what it is. And so this is a real life experience for me. Okay, I go to see what it is. Cat knocks something over, and oh no, I have a spill to clean up, and oh my gosh, something else is going on in my mind as I'm cleaning the spill, and oh my gosh, I forgot about this thing that I was supposed to do on my computer. Let me go back to my computer. And oh my gosh, I forgot I was actually doing something else on my computer. But hold on, another head pops up. I'm
Man,
sorry,
is
another
that?
pop up.
Yeah, isn't my bathroom really messy right now?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm like, why did I pick up these few things that are on the floor and then I see something else? Okay, let me just do this really quick. Let me just do this really quick. And then I just finally
So
find my way.
that does sound more ADD-ish. Not that like I'm an expert on that. It's not like the scatter that I have, like from MS, even though I'm sure you have that. I just have more years behind me to scatter around. But I think it's really important that you document that stuff, even for yourself. So, because
Mm-hmm.
the psychiatrist, I don't know, a psychiatrist is always going to just recommend meds. That's just what they do. They don't recommend counseling. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's the wrong thing or the right thing, but it's really good to document what all the things you're saying. It's good because if you say ADD, well, what does that mean? What are you talking
Yeah.
about? And then I want to know from the psychiatrist, like, how familiar are you with how familiar are you with the cognitive? Because
Mm,
that's been such a frustration of mine that people don't understand that. So if psychiatrist is just, are you familiar with this? Is this ADD? Is it part of my disease process? What is it? I would grill them, like too, to want to know what they know, because their
yeah.
go-to is always like, man, it's not, I guess it's just how long has this, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just gonna say that you're absolutely right. Like I need to I guess focus on how much she knows about MS in particular as well. And she does listen to me actually. Like she is actually the um she's one of the few doctors that I feel really wants to hear my story. So I've had several sessions with her, and it's all been about listening for her. And and honestly, I think she really likes me, which is great. Like I like being liked, and but I say that because my insurance covers like a certain amount of psychiatry visits, and we're not even close to the amount of psychiatry visits that I've had to be covered for her. And I think last time I was there, she told me that sometimes she does certain counseling sessions for free. So she invited me to one of those free counseling sessions, even though my insurance will cover it. So like we've all just we've just been, or I've just been telling her my story so far. So I think that's great. But I think you do bring up a good point, Karen, that I think I need to do a little more grilling. Um, she does know a lot about ADD. That's because she disclosed to me that she has ADD herself. So there's a lot
Oh,
there.
that's right. But that might be why
Mhm,
you brought that up. But it does sound like at least you have a good rapport with her, and she's
mhm,
listening, and she's not just, let me get the prescription pad, go ahead and try it. But I know from my
exactly.
own primary care doctor, she's real picky, and she always wants to know everything. And because of MS, I can't remember. I can't really
Mm,
remember a lot of things. So,
uh-huh.
like that episode that you had, that's an episode. Like the other, this depression and the eating and but the crying, that's like an episode of something. And I just think the more you can document for her,
Mm,
that,
mhm,
well, I was eating and I was this and I was anxious and I did that, and then I had this crying fit, because the crying fit for a long time, that's a long time. It's
mhm.
not your
It is.
garden variety. I don't know what it it might just be a chemical or whatever, but I
You
just
also,
I just obsessively document stuff for my doctor, and I make her read it, even good stuff, because that you can't, we can't remember with MS, but they can only like, what are the symptoms? What are you talking about? What does this mean? What does that? So but I want to say, you won't be feeling like this forever.
Yeah,
That was
that's
an
true.
episode, and you won't feel like that forever. And it just feels scary I've had such emotional roller coaster with this MS, because I didn't understand what I had, and you don't have relapsing remitting, you have blah blah blah. And this group has helped me so much. Just the more I understand what this disease is doing to me, and the more I understand, and the more I accept, not happily, but accept. But I think that unknown could make anybody crazy.
Hmm. No, you're right. Like, and it does help me to just come out here and just talk about it, because it helps a lot. Because I cried on my boyfriend's shoulder, but just people who also understand it too is helpful too.
And I
Um,
imagine it probably is helpful talking to the group who's like, yes, we've had COVID and we've had those batshit crazy feelings where we're in tears. You're laying in bed like, I'm never going to get healthy again. And you had pneumonia on top of that. So, you know, I don't know if that helps, but thank you for sharing that, because I know that that made me feel better. Sadly, to hear that, I was like, okay, Hannah always seems to have it together, and she's talking about
oh
how
no.
this is making her crazy too. I had such a pity party last night, so thank you for sharing.
I
yes.
want you guys to know that, like, I don't have it together. Like, I'm a huge mess.
We
And I'm
we
putting
all
this on record. I'm glad that we're recording, because it can be bad sometimes.
Yeah,
And you need to know that.
yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
But
I
yeah,
I would like
Hannah.
to I would like to say,
Oh,
Hannah, that so you were sick, so your body is recovering, and as you know, since you're taking Ocrevus, your body takes longer because you have MS to recover from things. It's not like, oh, boom, it's easy. It takes a long time, and it's not just the physical; it's the mental, it's everything. And when I had the flu really bad, it wasn't the flu symptoms that kicked my ass; it was the MS, because it just brought out my MS in full force. So when you describe what you're feeling, it makes complete sense to me why you're experiencing what you're doing. And then you have the additional stress of the financial and thing, and that adds the stress that's so it makes 100% sense. My recommendation is, the fact that you can come and admit how you're feeling, that's half the battle right there, to realize I'm having a problem. That's great, because that gives you a chance to okay, what do I do about it? And, right now, the best thing is self-care, being really kind to yourself. This is not the time to beat yourself up and I should feel this way, I should be better right now. No, you are still recovering from COVID. You are still recovering from pneumonia. You may not have the physical symptoms, but your body's taking a long time. Think how long it takes someone to heal a bone. It takes, what, like a year? It takes a long time. So be gentle on yourself and, get the help. We're always a text, a phone call away. We're always here for you. And, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, that your body's completely out of balance. Like, you will figure everything out. Right now, it seems just everything just kind of falling right now, and your emotions can feel very out of control. When you're having, crying, you're getting tearful and having crying spells, that makes you very vulnerable, and that takes a lot of courage. And I just think it's so wonderful that you come out here and help others in the group, but help yourself. And we're all just hot messes at the end of the day, Hannah. The fact that we all can show up here, that's a big process to get here. And you're a lot like me, where your baseline, you're like, ah. So when you're kind of when you're depressed, it's hard to tell with you, because you're like me, like your normal is like, hey guys, how's it going? Because that's what my normal is. And so I get that. You're like, how is she depressed? She's laughing, she's smiling, because she has this high level, her normal baseline. So
That's Kim, you get it. Yeah. My normal
I've been there
baseline is like,
multiple
really?
times, so I totally get it. And we have our good days and our bad days. So you can call me up anytime. If I'm available, I will listen to you and I will walk you through it.
This group is the best. You guys are all the really truly the best,
Don't
I've
you
been
wish this was twice a week?
Yeah, actually.
Like my friends know like some of you guys, okay, yeah, so I have Karen in my group, and my wife knows Karen, and she knows Dan and Jennifer, and all the people.
Oh,
It's a really good community here.
that's
It's
awesome.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
John, I have the same thing. My friend, I have a friend, and we hadn't been in touch, and I stopped by at her house yesterday. But she's always watches she always watches this because we hadn't been in touch, and then I realized, oh, she
Yeah.
knows what's going on with me. But yesterday she was talking. She goes, well, ever since I joined the group, and then she started laughing. She says, I didn't join the group, but she feels like. She said, yeah, you once said that, when you started, it wasn't like, it was kind of scattered, and now there's a real solid group. And she goes, there is a real solid group. She just, that she has it. But, I had a UTI, I don't remember, last year or something, and it freaked me out because I don't get UTIs. And then I was reading like, oh my God, when you have a UTI, with MS, you get them and they should be treated right away. And I just went crazy, and I was able to call the MS nurse. And so don't underestimate any physical, anything, that I was just like crazy, like, oh my God. And now my anxiety. And I'm like, and she goes, Karen, you're not going to have a UTI for the rest of your life. It might take a little longer to heal because I was given a medication and it took longer. My doctor said it might take longer, not because of MS, but I think Kim's right. But just the physical, and that was a long haul. COVID, and then you couldn't talk, then you had to cancel your class, and you have other jobs, and so and then more, and now I'm feeling crazy, and now I'm feeling depressed, and it's like I don't think you'll always feel that way.
Yeah, so you're right though. I'm not always gonna feel that way. And even during the day, there will be ups and downs as well. It's amazing how much strain we can go through and still be okay, or at least seem okay at the end of the day. It's amazing. Maybe the better way to say that, it's amazing how much we can fluctuate within a single day.
Mm.
Um, that's a better way to say it. Because there will be days when I wake up super anxious and depressed, but as the day goes on, I start feeling a little bit better, and then much better at some point, and then just downhill later on. So that's definitely something that's worth noting, like you mentioned, Karen, with the note taking. Because there's got to be something that I can take that would help to level out some of those fluctuations. Um, yeah,
And there's nothing wrong if you start medication, Hannah, to go low and slow. There's no problem with doing that, or just doing one thing at a time. Because a lot of times with those type of medications, they'll use multiple medications. And if you just want to start one and go low and see how you do, because it sounds like you have anxiety with depression right now, so they're probably going to hopefully start you on I'm not a psychiatrist, they usually start on a lower dose if you're having anxiety problems, because you start on a higher dose, it's going to make your anxiety go.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Yeah, that makes sense.
I started on a low dose of Zoloft, and 6 years later now, I said to my doctor, like, we need to change something because this isn't holding up anymore.
Mm.
So I did there's a DNA swab that they can check to see, it rates the medicine, like from red light, don't use, yellow light, like, hey, if we adjust some stuff, or green light, just go.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm excited to see what the testing lab says, like, oh, hey, you should not be on Zoloft at all.
Really?
And yeah, so we're still waiting to hear back from them because it takes a couple of weeks. But yeah, when I found out about it, I said, yes, go, like, take it now.
Take
The
all my
soo-
spit, please.
yeah, the sooner the better. Let's get it in the mail right now.
Interesting. I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
But Hannah, when I was diagnosed, I went into a very, very deep depression and didn't know what depression was and didn't know that it was connected to MS and didn't know anything except that I couldn't stop crying. And I couldn't stop crying for 3 years. I went to see a psychologist and I talked to him every week for 2 years of those 3 years
Mhm.
because I didn't want to get on the medication.
Gotcha.
Now I'm on Cymbalta and now I am stable. It's been 10 years now and I'm actually talking to my doctor about maybe coming off of it. So one, it doesn't have to be permanent, and two, don't rush into it, and three, just be open to it is all.
Oh yeah, yeah, and all of you make really good points, and uh, when you say that nothing is permanent, and actually that thought right there is one of the thoughts that helps me to get through my MS diagnosis. I guess I just forgot it this whole time, just that thought that nothing is permanent. Everything is always in fluctuation. You'll go through your bad times, you go through your highs and lows, um, but it'll always, you'll always come back to the good things that you want, and that's totally right. I'm so happy you said that because I needed to remember that that phrase or that saying, I guess. You know, I
Awesome.
I have like you guys, I got really bad memory issues, and that's another one of my symptoms that's been really really bad lately. I was
It goes
gosh,
with the depression.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it goes with MS. I
It
mean,
does.
that's
It goes with
Both,
depression, cognitive issues.
yeah,
all
yeah.
of it.
But
They're
but
so intertwined.
yeah.
yeah.
But
There's
I've
so
had
it
on and off.
goes with
I've had
ADD
on it.
too.
But I've had
Mhm.
on and off like emotional, whatever. I mean, I didn't know I had MS. It was during when my hands numb and this and the anxiety and menopause. But so yeah, I mean, I know what it's like to have anxiety and then but this memory thing, it's MS. It's not, it's just very different. It's
Mhm.
not the same thing. But I have like two things to say, but one, I had a foster daughter and she was, because you said something, Hannah, like just to level me out. So, you said that, so I'm hearing like, well, maybe you want something to level you out. So I had this kid and she was diagnosed with ADD and she was always like, just like in movement and it was hard to kind of be around her. And I knew she didn't have ADD and she went with every diagnosis that was in vogue. It was like, well, there's ADD, then there's PTSD, then there's whatever. And then at some point, it was sad. It's like I really had to fight to get her like the best child psychologist who took Medi-Cal, and he said, or I think I got a woman that time, but she ordered something for like when kids get depression, and I was sad. I don't want to give this little kid meds, but it took her down from, because when you're like this and if you're crying for an hour and a half with your boyfriend and you're at work and you feel like you're going to fall apart, it doesn't feel safe, and you already feel unsafe, and so it just kind of like leveled her out. Then she kind of started doing it again and I talked to the doctor and I said, Krista, I don't know what to do. Again, there's a problem in school. And she said, well, maybe I should take another pill. And the doctor is like, she's like 7. The doctor's like, let's go with her suggestion. So you can feel like if it just, and I thought she just deserves a chance to like, that people can relate to her as a more normalist person. So you said it, maybe something to level me out, but don't underestimate what you've been going through physically. Keep notes, even if it feels weird, because you'll be able to track. And for me, the best medicine has been, but I can't offer it to you, is taking Hannah's art class. That has been like the best medicine for me. And the psychologists are on strike at Kaiser. It's 2 months, and they have no intention of settling it. And I cried about that, like, well, my health, and she doesn't even care. I'm glad. I'm not jealous. I'm glad. But I was like, oh my God, she could go to a counselor. I can't. And so if I didn't have that art class, and it just makes me so happy, I would be out of my mind.
I do have to say that, like, I have projects that I've been working on, just, whenever I can. And there are times when I've just got nothing, or nothing's coming out right when I'm doing these projects. But once, or if I can establish a rhythm and really try to concentrate on the artwork, then it helps me mentally. It's just getting there that can be the issue, of course, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys know that. Anybody who's taken art, I'm sure you guys know that. Um,
Yeah.
but like I have my, like, it's like writer's block, but like artist block, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely have those moments, and it just seems like ever since COVID, I've had like a long streak of this writer's artist block, and trying to get over it, but that thought in and of itself, the idea that I can't provide, um the idea that I can't, do what I feel like my calling is, it adds to the depression. So
Oh, oh, Hannah, I know exactly how
uh-huh.
you were. A bunch of you probably remember when I quit my lifelong dream of being a geologist.
Yes, yes.
But luckily I fell into something else I could do from home.
Hmm.
But oh my God, I hear you there. Like, why am I worthless now? Why can't I provide? I'm letting
Hmm.
everyone down.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I definitely you're heard and you're seen. Like I get it.
Yeah, Hannah, I've totally been through that myself. I totally understand. It's really hard, and you got to be kind to yourself, and you got to take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. And make sure you're getting enough sleep. My therapist always tells me no problems get solved at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I try to tell myself that when I can't sleep. It doesn't always work, but sometimes.
That's so true.
But
Yeah.
it's
So
also
true.
another MS. It's another MS thing, because I can tell you that I have been a professional sleeper most of my life. If I can get paid for sleeping, I would. I've been on like bus trips with the Green Tortoise, and I'm like, there's party going on, and I'm like up on top on a thing, and somebody said, I was I was watching you sleep, like, all night long. And I was like, well, why would you do that? It didn't even occur to me, because I couldn't sleep. Or I'll be like at music camp, and and she was my friend. She was so angry because I was snoring. She kept her awake all night. And it's like, well, why would you stay awake all night? I slept. So, but now I do have problems sleeping, and it comes with MS. It's not, and because I don't have to produce, and I don't have to teach, and I don't have to, beat myself up for things. But like yesterday, I was really happy, and at 2 and 3 in the morning, I was just like couldn't sleep. So that just also comes with MS. So I mean, it's easy to say make sure you get enough sleep. Like, and I'm not saying Mike, but everybody's like make sure you have good sleep hygiene, and it's like, well, you can have good sleep hygiene, but you have MS.
Mhm. Mhm.
Victoria, were you going to say something about that?
I just wanted to tell her to try to think positive thoughts and to put on some relaxing music, pet your cat, go outside and get some sun. I mean, my depression is mild. but I've never taken anything for it. But I do love my dog so much, and he's really helped me calm me down. And but yeah, positive thoughts. And if you've ever read the book The Secret,
Oh,
you
The
should look into
Secret.
that
I've
book.
heard of it. I've heard of it.
It really works, and it helps you to start thinking. If you're saying, I don't have money, just start saying, money comes easy to me. I'm going to be okay. Let go, let God, you know. Yeah, take care of yourself. But MS, the main side effects for me is fatigue and depression. But I'm still plugging along for 24 years now. So
Yeah.
it's not easy, but plain M&Ms works too.
I have my kitty cat Cora, and she's my baby. She is my emotional support animal. She yeah, she's currently mad at me right now. Just sidetrack just for a little bit. She's currently mad at me right now because I took her to the vet. Like with what little money I do have, I know she needs care, so I will always get her the care that she needs. And so like she's mad at me. That's her that's my thanks. She's mad at me for that, but at least she's getting better, and that makes me happier. It really does. So
Is
Remember that chocolate is a pretty good medicine too.
yeah.
I forgot that. That
Um.
reminds me, I bought some marzipan, like like
Ooh,
covered chocolate. So good.
I'm with you.
So
Full
good.
send.
It
Uh-huh.
helps with blood pressure too, the
Oh
dark
yeah.
chocolate.
That's right. Yeah, no, I knew that.
And Hannah, it looks like you have
I,
like a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Frank.
I had some uh, Ghirardelli chocolates the other day with salted caramel, and let me tell you what, those were the best.
Oh
I
my
could
God.
have sat there and eaten those all day.
Oh my God.
Probably
That
not a
sounds
very,
so good, Frank.
not a very cost-effective thing to do, but I could have done it.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I got some coffee earlier today because let me tell you, I might be poor and I might be needing to like, dip into my tax money for next year. I have to do that. But I was just like, I got to treat myself today, and I got to get myself pumpkin spice stuff.
Oh, you guys and your pumpkin spice stuff.
I love it. I'm a sucker. I admit it.
I
Man.
just put in the chat and you just said it, to do something pleasurable. But,
Oh yes.
I'm wondering about the art thing. I know I
Mhm.
do. I self-talk a lot. It's like, Karen, you're doing a good job. It's okay. I just try to drop the self-judgment and
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm wondering about the art because, well, especially with anxiety, depression, and memory. But, my medicine was walking. Well, that's over. And my other medicine was singing and music and playing music. And I would spend hours every day just I could play music and I sing and I learn different songs and I get the song of the week and the song of the week becomes the song of the month and it made me so happy. And then I would learn how to like songs and I can transpose songs on the fly. And I can't do any of that anymore. And I don't remember what songs I like. I don't remember. I have binders and I can find them, but that was like never anything. And then it's just hard to get motivated with stuff. I went to a singing thing on the weekend and I was like, I don't know what that's going to be like. And I realized, oh, I can't transpose on the fly anymore. I can't do this. And then I went to a singing gathering and somebody said, oh, I was going to sing Papa Umau Mau from my owl. I said, I just something else. But then somebody said, Karen, sing something. And I go, I don't remember. I don't remember what songs. And then I often can't remember the lyrics or the chord progression. Well, I wasn't playing. This was just singing. And then I said, well, what do you want me to sing? And then I had the lyrics and I was able to do it. But don't underestimate too how much like the art, it's not normal, you're not normal anymore. Like you have this disease
True.
that instead of beating yourself up, oh, I can't do art. No, I can't remember songs I like, and when even though I say do something that brings you pleasure, and I forget. I forget to play music. I forget to sing. And then if I try need to get a ride and I don't get a ride, so then I don't go. I'm not going to go. I don't care anyway. I don't remember. So it's a message for myself too to do the things that get that pumpkin latte. Do that.
And I think it's important, just talking about accomplishing, doing things. And I think
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole video, but I know John had said he wanted to talk tonight. And I think if John, do you want to talk about your video of what you accomplished?
Yeah, Jen talks about my video. I took a new one today, Jen, so you'll be able to see that. I
Okay.
honestly, I came here to brag tonight, and I'm really sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. No.
um, Physical therapy is going very, very well for me. As a lot of you know, I had COVID in January, and on either side of COVID, I had kidney surgery. So I was really down for 3 or 4 months. Now I'm back to PT. Today I walked with my walker 60 feet there and back. Um,
Woohoo.
I can stand without holding on to something for over a minute. Just a lot of really cool things, and it's really, really fun to like brag about that because it's been so long since I've done something like that. Um, and as far as like the kind of the ADD, all that, like I get really overstimulated quickly because I just want to do all the things because all the things are really cool to me.
Hmm.
But there are days where I just like, yeah, no, like I can't go and do this, that kind of stuff. And I just say, okay, I'm not going to let MS ruin my day. I'll ruin my day some other way, but I'll let someone else ruin that. And you just have to kind of take those days and get your PSL, get your latte, heck, enjoy it. Like sit down somewhere comfortable and drink it, not just like run to like on the way to work or on the way to a meeting or something.
Yeah.
Just so you can just sit for a half hour or something. I don't know how
Yeah.
long it takes to drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. But Hannah, uh, I would sit in front of whatever that tank is behind you with the lights off for like an hour.
Yeah.
Just like I
Yeah.
have fish tank, so I will focus on that and like a little bit of meditation while I'm right there.
That's
Yeah,
Puffy. Yes.
yeah. Oh,
It's my puffer
Puffy,
fish. It's my
that's
puffer
great.
fish. My baby. My other baby.
Well,
I
congratulations, John. That's awesome.
I know.
yeah, it's going well where I'm standing up and walking steps side to side and back. So, COVID, you're not winning. Screw you. MS, you're not winning. Fuck off. And I'm here to do what I can do. And many of you know that I'm very outgoing with my doctors. Like I tell them, like what I'm here for, what I want the resolution to be. So I had an appointment last week, and I said, you know what? This pain in my back, and mostly just in my back, is making my life terrible. I would like an X-ray, and then I'd like you to address it, uh, in case there's something like structurally wrong, not just a muscle thing. And so we got that taken care of. So that was good. And then I said, doctor, I am. If you look at like the usual list of depression symptoms, just check all those off, okay? Like just all that most days of the week. Um, and we came to a decision to do that swab just to adjust my medication and see what is helping. Because I do have a lot of interest in doing stuff, but then also I'm like, ugh, but then I have to move all the way over there. Or sometimes like, oh, I need to interrupt Melissa at work, even though she's like working from home in her office. Like here I am bugging her again because I need to go 80 feet out to the couch, you know. So he listened to me there, and we're just awaiting results. And then I also have a diabetes brag. As of now,
Bring it.
I don't have to prick my finger ever again.
Yay.
Ever
Yeah,
again? That's
ever.
amazing.
Like I get my A1C checked now twice a year instead of 4 times a year.
Wow.
Yeah, I won diabetes apparently.
Good
But that,
job. Congratulations.
thank you.
Good things all around for you. That's amazing.
I hate to say it, but I deserve it after, you know,
Yeah.
the first 9 months of this year. And another thing was something that was giving me even more anxiety, which may tie into you, Hannah, a little bit, is I was so stressed about doing projects that I couldn't even get myself to do the project.
I know
Like,
what that's like. Yeah.
I have a Lego guitar to put together, not even out of the box. I've had it since December. You know, like, oh, that's going to take so much time. But something that I've been doing is I've been working on learning how to multiply dice. And so I've got this 6-sided dice here, and then I can make it a bunch more if I want to. So,
Ah.
so yeah, I've been learning magic just to like mess around. So like a new hobby, you know, even though it might cost a little money, a new hobby just really shifted my brain into a new mindset of this is something new and exciting,
Yeah.
and go into that. I mean, I've got coloring books to do, I've got art projects to do, but this just seemed like something new and fun. One of the things that I was going to start streaming on Twitch was me doing dollar store arts and crafts. You know, it's like just $1 art crafts from the dollar store. Just do them online, let people watch. People watch anything nowadays. But just like I have all these projects waiting, and sometimes I have to say, hey, I need to put that project on the shelf for a while.
Well, thank
I,
you. Thank
yeah,
you. That's good stuff.
thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah. And Louis was asking, what's your Twitch?
Oh, Louis, it's Johnny Shoes. I'll type it in the chat for you.
Nice.
Thank
Nice.
And Victoria, I don't want to like skip over. You said you wanted some time to talk. Really, do you want to talk?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
My mother 3 weeks ago had a mild stroke, and I usually take 3 or 4 naps a day. And for some reason, my whole adrenaline kicked in, and I have not slept at all. I mean, I sleep at night, but I'm still just going strong, 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 and she's doing really well and with her therapy, and it affected her right side just like mine. And so it's very strange that she's always been hyper, and now her right side's affected like mine. But I switched over to the way she is, and I'm going all crazy and doing the laundry now and cooking and trying to chop stuff, and my sister's doing the meals, and so it's been I don't God just made me I'm okay. So it's just very strange. So, but that's what I've been dealing with right now. And then all of a sudden the dog had a problem and I had to call the vet and I had to go do that. And it's like, how come I can't cut a break? It's like every time I turn around, I had to pay her bills. I'm balancing 3 checkbooks. I'm doing all her stuff, but I would do it again. She's my mom. So, but yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. But M&M's the works.
Gosh, everyone, let me just give you some of like the positive things that happened lately. Like, let me just send some of that cheer like your way.
Yeah, yeah. Positivity, absorb it, please.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, thank you for sharing that, Victoria.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a
just
lot.
like Kim was saying, take care of yourself. I know it's important to take care of your mom, but you have to take care of your health.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to reach out and hug you.
Yeah.
me
I
too.
think that
Yeah.
that feeling is very mutual, Andrea. I think, Victoria, there's hugs, virtual
Every.
hugs all over the screen.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Oh my
And like
gosh.
and like Kim said, we're all just, an email away if you ever need to type and vent or type and talk. You can reach
Thank
out.
And my mom's nephew's here too, so he's been a great help. Yeah. So I'll want to take a nap and I'll go, okay, it's your shift. You're on duty. Because I don't want to leave her because she's on the blood thinner and they're telling me, oh, if she falls and hits her head and I'm like, oh God, so I'm constantly like, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom until I'm down here. You're not allowed to stand up till I'm down here. But she's actually walking around doing better than I am. So that's good. So yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Focus on.
think it's important for you to take care of yourself. I know a lot of times my body will hold up perfectly fine to get me through a crisis, but then I'll crash hard on the other side of it. So be really kind to yourself and find time to rest and take care of you.
Thank you.
So, Andrea, are there things that you wanted to talk about tonight?
Um, no, I I just lost
You
power in
have
my
a
refrigerator and everything rotted and it's really bad and I'm gonna try Kim suggested baking soda and I just finished my second round of bleach water on it and I'm exhausted and I can't think and I can't my legs will barely move now um and Hannah when I get when I get like this I was playing some music to bring myself up and Papa Don't Preach was is on one of my song lists and it made me cry because then I felt sorry for her because she had these problems with her daddy and silly silly stuff but I'm just like bawling over Madonna of all I mean
Well, that's
yeah.
music brings you to a different place. I totally get it. I have my songs that I go to, that will make me bawl too for
yeah but
different
that one
reasons. I
usually
get
makes
it.
me dance not cry.
Or for me, like the song will remind me of something very specific.
Yeah.
Mm,
Like Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen reminds me of a Stephen King book of a very, very, very sad part. And I'm just like, I hear it, I'm like, oh, Eddie, why'd you die? Like just over a fictional character.
Yep.
So music is just such a
It's
man.
a
mm.
and Karen, when you were talking about it, and you're singing, I was wondering if the music behind the song makes the lyrics come back to you.
No, I have binders. I can find them. It's
Mhm.
just shocking. I just think it's might be parallel with when I saying, oh, I can't do the art. Like, it's not even that. It makes me like almost not care. Like songs. Like for me, when I have a new song, it's like, oh my God, I have a new song that not even that I wrote, that just that I learned, that I wanted to learn and just spend a lot of time on it. And I don't have that. I don't feel like it's because of depression. It's the MS. Like my brain just doesn't,
I was just
it,
curious because sometimes that, just the song playing in the background just brings it all back. Like if you ask me,
no,
like I'm
no,
horrible,
yeah.
oh, this is Madonna, oh, well, I know
No,
Madonna,
it's
but
more, yeah, I don't even listen to that much music. It's more like I like making it.
I see. Okay.
But yeah.
So I
I,
didn't
I,
mean to go
I
away
did,
from her
I
issues.
did want to share something that sort of goes with this kind of topic about how to take care of yourself. Yesterday, well, Sunday night started the Jewish New Year, and I wanted to go to services, and they were having it in Berkeley. I used to go to Berkeley 3 times a week at least, and I just didn't want to go that far. And I'm frail. I'm owning this. So I don't know if anybody else wants to own it, but I called the admin people and they were new. And I said, look, is there going to be disabled parking? Because the thought of me wandering around Berkeley with my walker is terrifying. And I knew it would make me happy to go to services, but not. And then the anxiety was building. And I saw that this church, they rented a church and they have a garage. And then I asked about that and they said, well, I'm not really sure. I think they, well, it found out they have a garage and you can park there, and what you have to do is go from the garage and then get a parking pass and then bring it back to your car. But that seems kind of unreasonable. And there's this administrative shift, and I knew the person who was in charge was letting it go. I knew she could figure it out. It's like, really, can't someone go to my, and so I put it out to a few people. And then the next day I called and they said, well, I don't really know how it works. And I'm getting anxious going, well, how do I get from the garage to where I need to go? And the whole thing was just, I rather think about what am I going to wear and why am I going and it just, that's alone just made me, because I say, oh, I'm disabled. And then I just started, feeling this anxiety. And I thought, no, I'm frail. I'm frail. I'm not just disabled, I'm frail. But then I came up with this analogy and I'm like, you know, I when you have a baby, you have to make sure, did the baby sleep? Did the baby eat? Did the baby poop? Did the baby pee? And if you want to take the baby out, or do you have enough supplies to take the baby? Like for me, it's like I have to know there's going to be a bathroom where I land, and do you have all this stuff for the baby? And it just made me feel like less crazy to just go, oh, I am a baby. My life is taking care of this baby. Did I sleep enough? Am I going to be able to go? Am I going to be safe where I go? I'm not used to driving at night. It gets dark fast. And last week I was in the dark, and then so I made every day from like almost every day from Wednesday to Sunday so I could be safe coming home because I'm a little further than I want to be. And just I'm frail and I'm naming it. And I am taking care of a baby, and I'm also the parent.
And you're
Well,
also the baby.
I like that you named it though. Like I feel like that in and of itself gives you more power, more autonomy. Just naming, okay, I'm the baby here. What do I need? What does
And I'm
baby need?
frail. I'm frail.
Uh-huh.
I don't think everybody wants to own that. But I'm frail. I can't walk. I can't take care of myself. And well, then the next thing that happened, which was ridiculous, I actually volunteered to do check-in for Sunday night. I thought, well, this way I'll get there on time and I'll do check-in. And somebody comes up to me who was like organizing the services, and she comes up to me and she said, the best place for you to sit inside, and I'm trying to do my job, and she's drawing a thing. There's, these pews on the side, and, there's a spot for like a wheelchair, and that's the best place for you. And I said, I think the best place for me is for me to decide. That, in addition to taking care of the baby, I have to take care of everybody else's freaking discomfort. I'm the only one there with a walker. And then when I go inside, do my shift and whatever, and I happen to run into someone, she goes, oh, you want to sit here? And I sat with her. And I had my walker in the aisle, big deal. Someone had a baby walker. So then I came yesterday for the morning service, and Karen does not do mornings. So the fact that I set my alarm for 8:45 is amazing. And then I go there, but when I went in the Sunday night, someone else who's very helpful, everybody wants to be helpful, she said to me, do you need the walker? Because we could put it away. I mean, I wasn't smart enough to just say, could I knock your knees out below you? You know, like, why would I walk with a walker? And she said, well, I'm just asking. And I thought, wow, like, I mean, it just makes me so angry. And then the next morning I went and
It shouldn't make you angry, Karen. It should make you feel sorry for people that are that uncomfortable with our mobility equipment.
and
You know, just like you need just a way to stand up for yourself. Like you need that. And just, I'm sorry if the image of a walker makes you a little uncomfortable.
that's why I thank you, because I thought
Very well
that's what
said,
I need.
Jennifer.
That's what I need to say to people. And then I went in the morning. Well, I got up at 8:45, but you know, it took me an hour, even though I thought I can get out in 20 minutes. So they had Zoom too. So I got in the car and I put on Zoom. So I got to hear the beginning of the services. And then since I was there, like, and I'm used to Zoom services. So, and then I parked, not in the garage this time, because I got stranded, just like I expected. I got out of the garage and there's wheelchair signs all over, and I have a walker, and I don't know where I'm going, and there's steps, and I can't afford to walk down some wheelchair ramp only to find out I'm in the wrong place. And some woman happened to show up from something else because you're trying to get to the garage. I said, no, can you do me a favor? Can you walk me outside to the street and get my walker down those 3 steps? Because I knew how to get there. So my biggest fear did happen. So it's not unreasonable to even say, look, people, I am disabled. But it's like, no, I am frail. I didn't tell them that because that was new to me. You know, this image of the being frail and fighting for, no, I want to go to services for the new year. I don't want to be on Zoom in my house. I want to go in person, and I can do this. And I made sure I slept enough, and I hadn't been sleeping good, but I made sure I'm rested. So then, this other one's like, you know, you get rid of your walker. So the next day, I just went there, and I was like later, but they were saying, we're going to have a minute of silence. I was like, oh, okay, I'll turn off my phone and go inside. And I saw some seats in what I thought was the front row, and someone was saving a seat. And I said, can I sit there? And she said, no. So then the whole front pews, it's funny, it was at a church. I don't go to churches, but I'm sure most of you have been to churches. So the whole front pews were empty because there's also some dancing that goes on and whatever. So I was already there, and I wanted to be in the front. I didn't want to be in the back. I don't want to be relegated to the side where you can't even see anything. Like, sorry, people, it makes you so uncomfortable. So I just sat in front of her in the front where I wanted to be, and I felt really good about that. And it's like, I don't need to apologize. My friend was saying, usually when you go to wheelchairs, sit in the front. And so they did have dancing. And then they also have a session where, like, they open up the Torah and people come up. And I thought, if anyone says anything to me, because people say to me all the time, oh, you did very well. So I thought, if anybody comes up to me afterwards, I'll say, you know, people did very well. Nobody bumped into the walker. They managed to avoid the walker. They did very well. But that was just,
Yeah. Yeah, that's just an experience. And mobility equipment, you know, that you could write a book about it. So,
What a
yeah,
roller coaster.
yeah.
Really.
And I want to swing back to Kim because, Kim, did you have something you wanted to talk about tonight?
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I muted because my mom was doing something in the kitchen. I don't want to be noisy. Yeah, I had my MRI, cervical and thoracic yesterday. No changes there, but starting on our last meeting, I was having an allergic reaction, and it lasted for like at least over a week, and then it's kind of abated, but it kind of keeps coming back and forth. So we're not quite sure. I had a big discussion with my neurologist, like, is this to the Ocrevus? Because it started like the evening the day after, or is it not? Or what should I, would you recommend staying on Ocrevus, not switching it up? And it was crazy because it's like, not only one of my symptoms when I have allergic reactions, my eyelids get all puffy. They're actually probably still kind of puffy. I don't have eyelids right now, guys.
Okay.
And then my top of my head got super, super sensitive. I actually had a rash on the top of my scalp. it raised like big bumps, like a little lumpy head. So yeah. So I was just kind of out of my mind on Tuesday night. I didn't realize, like, and I'm like, God, why is my eye just driving me crazy? And I also had a part of my eyelid that was like really pink, like super pink and puffy and swollen, and potentially a rash. So yeah, so Wednesday was really fun because I was out of my mind from the steroids and the Ocrevus, and then I was out of my mind with the allergic reactions, that double whammy. So I felt kind of insane that day, but it did get better. But I'm still battling with allergic reactions like crazy, and I don't know what's causing it. Could be environmental, could be something else, but But he wanted me to stick with the Ocrevus and do the fusion in March and see what happens, because I've been on Ocrevus since January 2019. So it's not like I just started it. It's been like at 7 prior doses or something like that before. So it's just kind of interesting little twist there. Like, wonder what's going on. So
It is
Well,
kind of odd. Yeah. I've
yeah,
been on Ocrevus for maybe like maybe just a year more than you, and I haven't had any other rashes pop up other than the usual one that comes up right after. So yeah, that's very odd.
And I had zero reaction during the infusion itself. It was like they were giving me water, except for the steroid, the Solumetro, obviously. I noticed
Right.
that one right away.
Yeah,
But the Ocrevus,
as one
I
does.
didn't notice
well,
it at all. So.
congrats on no new progression with your MRIs. That's really good.
No, and I got to do a powwow because I've had more foot neuropathy, and so I got to get, what do you recommend? What are your thoughts on which different drugs should I try if I try anything? And so he was a really great person to pick his, because I get to see him once a year, and you can really pick his brain. And then if someone wasn't comfortable prescribing stuff, then he was cool with it. So yeah, it was a great visit. It was great to see him. It was great to see my team, and I'm so spoiled because I get to go in the morning, get my MRI, see the neuropsychologist, see the neurologist. I get my results that afternoon. I am totally, spoiled. Totally spoiled. And I know it.
Well, congrats. And dovetailing off you, Kim, picking brains, I wanted to ask any of us who are still here who've had the COVID, if you did any sort of treatment, like the remdesivir or monoclonal antibodies or anything like that.
Yeah, I did the first time I got COVID in June, I did Paxlovid, and then the second time I think it is remdesivir. You
Okay.
pronounce it so much better than I did. I did both, and I feel like maybe they worked. I think they
Okay.
worked. I don't know.
And what about you, John? Because John shook his head no.
No, I actually didn't get anything after I was over COVID. Like I had an opportunity to do the antibodies, but I just chose not to. Like no real reason, just but I have had boosters.
Okay. I selfishly wondered because I've read different things about people in our MS community and what they've done. So I'm glad I got to ask you that, Hannah, before you head out.
Yeah, of course. It was so nice seeing everybody. I guess I don't know if Rick is here. Just real quick, I just wanted to remind everyone that I'm gonna be on the Solo Arts Heal show tomorrow. Yay! I'm so
Yay.
excited, guys. Of
Good
course,
luck
Rick
with
is the
that.
host. It's gonna be 7:30 Pacific time, which would be 9:30 my time, Central time.
So
And
10:30 our time.
That's
yes,
after
exactly.
bedtime. That's after bedtime.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Rick. I'm gonna try my best because sometimes my brain shuts off at about 9:30 or so. If we're lucky, 10. So I might drink a little caffeine, just a little beforehand.
Nice.
Make sure I'm there. But yes, so I will be painting a painting live, and I'll be talking about MS, and I'll be obviously, and then but also talking about the helper aspect of my jobs, because it's my passion to just throw my skill out there to the world, and hopefully it catches on with somebody and helps somebody.
Yes.
It's yes,
I'm a witness. I can testify.
yes. So I will be talking about that, and about some other things that I do with another organization too. So it'll be a lot. I don't know if an hour is going to be enough, Rick. A lot.
Well, if
So
you poop out on me, I'll ask the question and then I'll pretend to answer for you as well. Okay,
nice.
Hannah, maybe I need a canvas behind me over here so I
You
can
do.
I can
Rick.
pretend
Let's
to.
make let's make a painting together. Yes. Even if
Oh
all
my
you do
God.
is scribble, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
I think
It's
you'll rise to the
unfortunate.
occasion, Hannah. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad you came and shared with us because already it's like a little weight off the shoulder. Like, yeah, how do you go? Oh my God, how am I going to be on a performance when I feel like such crap? So it's like I'm glad we like can shoulder some of it for you and go, you're great, you're fine.
Thank you.
Just
No, you
don't
guys.
bring your walker.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm just glad that I could, vent to you guys and talk to you guys about it, because it really was encouraging to hear everything you guys said. So I'm gonna carry it with me tomorrow.
Oh, and Hannah, I just before you leave, I just want to paraphrase this art teacher that really inspired me once. And she said something along the lines of all art is beautiful.
That's cool. I like that. It's
It was
it
you, Hannah.
it was me. It was me. I said that. Thank
That's
you,
true.
Andrea.
Nice, nice
And you
one,
give permission.
Andrea. Good job, kid. Good job.
I'm trying
And
to think.
Hannah, you do inspire me. You do inspire me. And by the way, someone at the same synagogue sent me a chat because I dedicated a service to Hannah. I just went to Hannah, my spirit guide, my art teacher and spirit guide. And then I forgot that I did that. And then somebody said, "Oh, we're having an art show. Are you interested in being in an art show?" And I thought, why would somebody ask me that? That's crazy. And so I checked her in at the service. So I said, "Oh, I want to get back to you." I said, "Do you have to be an artist to be in the show?" And so she said, "Why?" I said, "Well, I have these things that I did." And she said, "No, it's like for creating community. So I think I might do it." So
Do it.
keep that with
Yes.
you. Keep that with
Do
you
it.
tomorrow with your just the healing power of art. Like what you are doing is so powerful. It is so powerful, and it
Good.
just it's created new neural pathways with me, but it makes me like happy and tickled. And I visited my friend yesterday, she and her daughter, they're both very artistic, and I showed them the AnCan gallery, and they go, "Karen, look what you do. Yours is abstract. Everybody's just following Hannah, but you just do that." And I go, "I don't know what I'm doing. I never did anything like this." And John had said, it's something new that you've never done before. That's
Mhm.
like he's saying magic. That is another trick, like to trick yourself
Yeah.
to do something you've never done before, and you're like, I can't do that.
Well, honestly, like, not to, I know John is gone now, but he, as soon as he did that trick with the dice, that was exactly what I was thinking. It's all about exploring. It's all about exploring a path that makes you happy. So whether that's fishing or art, it's just what you gravitate towards. You should do that. And that's, I think, the bigger picture that I will be talking about tomorrow, Rick, by the way. Um, that's
That's
looking at the
self
bigger
care that
picture.
everyone's been talking about.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's the self-care that is difficult to follow, and I'm saying this from experience, just with the depression comes the lack of motivation, obviously. So, like I said, I'm speaking from experience, but like it's the idea of holding on and just holding on to the things that keep you happy, but don't stop doing them. Don't ever stop doing them. So Karen, I'm so happy that you're gonna put the work in there. Gotta send pictures. Pictures. Once it's in the gallery, send pictures of us.
Well, I don't know
Well,
how it's going to work as it's in person, so I'll have to think of that. But it was funny because I don't know her, and but I
mhm,
think she did see me do a performance piece because they had a sharing thing. So I said, "Well, do you have to be an artist?"
mhm,
But I think my story is empowering about what you're offering about the healing. It's so
mhm,
important. It's just so important to
mhm,
do something like, no, you don't have to be. Do you have to be a singer to sing? No, everybody wants
mhm.
to sing. Everybody wants to. I didn't know I wanted to make art. I was like, not going to do it.
Do
And
you
I
have to
love
be
what you do.
do you have to be an Olympic athlete to exercise? Like
Yeah,
takes
yeah,
practice. Just keep going at it.
yeah.
So I'd just like to say a couple of little things about some things we're doing here. The first is that we're trying to find a way to fund the art classes through the whole of next year, and we're going to put a grant into Janssen, um, to their charitable portal, to their charitable grant portal, and hopefully they'll look on us kindly. And we're starting with that, but we are definitely motivated to try and figure a way. I think most of you know that I think it's October 20th. Is that right?
Yes.
Hannah, is you're going to do another session,
Hmm.
but it'll be with BYOA, bring your own art materials,
Yep.
BYOA.
BYO.
Um,
Yeah. Bring your own art.
which won't affect Karen because Karen uses her tablet. But for most of you, I'm sure Karen or that Hannah will give you a list. One of the things I've asked my buddy Jimmy Greenfield, who did another solo arts hero for us earlier in the year and is a musician, I've asked Jimmy to see if we can come up with a comparable concept to art with music. Um, it's a little more challenging. I don't quite know how we're going to do it, but I asked Jimmy last week and I'm going to stick on him. And we'd love to try and find a similar mode to do what we're doing with Hannah and art with music. And if we can come up with it, Jimmy's willing to do it. And so
Rick, can
we'll
you
figure
remind
Well,
me
that.
who is Jimmy? I must have missed that.
Jimmy Greenfield is a gent who attends our advanced prostate cancer group, and he's a professional musician, and he has been on Solo Arts Heal. If you go to our Solo Arts Heal page, you'll find the show I did with him last year. It was great. He played the ukulele and he was terrific. He's a music teacher and a live performer. He's really good. So I've asked Jimmy if anybody else has ideas. I'll
Um,
show you to Jimmy and see if
people
we.
like to sing. People do like to sing, and kind of the beauty about singing on Zoom is because I do a lot of that. And I've like go to a lot of music stuff online, and people want to sing. And the good thing about that is no one can hear you. Well, unless you got someone at your house who's listening. So there's like a real freedom. It's like, well, I could take risks. I don't have to be.
I wanted to add, Rick, to what you were saying. Maybe you and I can talk, but the organization that I work for, Hearts Need Art, um, what we do is bring arts and musicians into the hospitals to work with patients.
Oh wow,
So maybe I can talk to you about some of the things that I've seen them do and how they work with patients. So we can
love
definitely
it. We love it. I mean, we have a real commitment to mental health programming, and that's the last thing I wanted to mention to you is that we're actually trying very hard for genitourinary cancers, which are cancers like bladder, prostate, testicular, penile, kidney. We're trying to to introduce guidelines for the practitioners to be more aware of mental health issues. So everything you've been talking about right now, right this evening, is very much in the forefront of what we're trying to improve upon next year. So anyway, and Hannah, thank you for posting Jimmy's solo arts heel. It's worth watching. Jimmy's great. And
Yeah.
it's worth watching if you haven't seen it. And the Solo Arts Heel series is pretty good, as Karen will tell you, because she's seen a few of them. Because she's a Marsh fan. Who's the Marsh? The Marsh is our partner. They're a theater company in San Francisco and Berkeley, and it's really their program, and we just host this once a month. And so I hope you'll be there tomorrow and have your questions ready to fire at Miss Hannah. So
Roll at me.
the chat in the YouTube and everywhere else. So yeah.
Is that something that we can go to?
Everybody, it's free.
Yeah.
It's drop in tomorrow night. Hannah just put the event. She just put the event in the chat window, or if you go to our website and look at Solo Arts Heal, you'll find a beautiful picture of Hannah, and it's open to everybody. We hope
Awesome.
you'll all attend.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yay. And of course, there will be a recording too. So.
And there will be a recording. Yeah, if you go back to our Solo Arts Heal page in about a week, there'll be a recording there of if you miss it, or if you're on the East Coast and it's a little late for you, we understand.
I am. I'll try to watch it, and I'm also getting my booster shot tomorrow, so we'll see how I feel.
Yes.
Oh, I sailed through it, Andrea. I got my booster and my flu shot at the same time. It was fine. I didn't even notice I got it, but I mean, everybody's different.
Did the first ones affect you? Because the last booster shot knocked me out.
Yeah, no, the earlier ones did. This one didn't bother me.
Okay, good.
And I will say that I've had something for 9 days, more than 9 days, since a week ago Friday, that seems like it should be COVID, but it isn't COVID because I keep testing negative. So I don't know what the heck it is. All I know is that I met one of our guys for dinner last week and he got it. So
Are we still recording? Stop recording.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I would appreciate if.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'll do it.